Hi everyone, this is Amina. Thank you so much for attending today's lecture. Today we are going to uncover wounded and sacred energy within the root chakra. First, I would like to reiterate this concept of color therapy so we can understand why we use the colors we do and when to use them. In ancient Taoism, we call the crown chakra violet light, clear white light, or the crystal room. In Taoism, this is the healing light. You can use this light to heal any area of your body energetically or physically. This light is clear white light like a prism. It is every color in the rainbow. It is every color of the spectrum and comes together as the white. In the same way that white light from your crown chakra can clear all of your chakras out by using the white light energy of the eternal source, the root chakra also has this power because your connection to the physical plane and the earth is also larger than you. It is also inside of you and outside of you, just like the white light. While you have the light within you, and you understand that all beings around you also have a light within them, in that same way, in the root chakra, you are nature. You are made of nature. You have nature within you. And when you connect with the earth, you are also connecting with the nature around you. Our fears and doubts and anxieties are relieved when we connect with nature. When you swim in the ocean, you feel a sense that you are smaller than the universe, that your problems are just a speck on the eternal map of evolution. When you stand in the beauty of a national park, of a place that is grand and much bigger than you, your problems and anxieties feel small. When you feel this connection to the earth, you feel safe, you feel grounded, and your anxiety is released because you realize you are part of nature. You are part of the eternal evolution of the physical world, just as you realize that in your crown chakra, you are a part of the eternal consciousness of the ethereal realm. When you connect both your crown chakra and your root chakra, this can have incredible effects on your well-being throughout your alignment. By meditating on light, we get down to the very truth of our eternal essence. This pure energy will continue after you die. It is the true you, and it is your key to happiness and knowing who you truly are, what you truly want in life, and allowing yourself to feel secure enough to get it and confident enough to get it. In the root chakra, all people store trauma, and everyone suppresses memory. It just matters to what degree. Trauma is not just huge events. Trauma is simply just an experience that made us distressed. If you were born in a hospital, that was traumatic. If you were weaned from breastfeeding, that was traumatic. When you were left in your crib crying, that was traumatic. What seems like no big deal as an adult is the entire world to a child. In the modern world, parents are not capable of raising a child without trauma. What seems like no big deal to you now, at the time was your entire world as you knew it. For a child to not have her or his parents there for him or her when crying, the child has nowhere else to turn. Your entire world are your parents. If your parents aren't there at all, your entire world is being neglected by your parents and possibly abused or traumatized by your new caretakers as well. Even now, you can look back in your adult life. Was there a time in your adult life where you had a breakup or you lost a job and it shattered your entire sense of being? Maybe now, looking back, you can hardly remember the situation, but you can recall the trauma and the pain that you endured during the time. The pain from trauma we endure stays within our bodies. The memories become suppressed. Rather than dealing with the feelings, we escape from them. We put them deep into our subconscious, repress and suppress them. And then later, we develop anxiety or behavioral problems, or codependent behavior, or addictions or bad habits. Our conscious mind forgot about this memory, but our subconscious mind did not. You may think, what is wrong with me? Why can't I stop eating so much? Or why can't I stop drinking so much? Why do I feel so dependent on this person or needy? Your anxieties and fears from trauma can manifest in all different ways. And you don't even think about the trauma you experienced as traumatic because you think you already moved past it. But it is stored in your body and it is stored in your subconscious. It is blocking your energy from flowing freely. Some of you may not remember the actual events that took place. Our memory is fragmented, so you may not remember where it took place, who it took place with, or the events that occurred. You may not remember the color of the room or the smell. But your conscious memory does remember the feelings you felt in that time. It does remember the feeling of being anxious or scared or alone or isolated or angry. Because you only remember the feeling, you are then triggered to reenact this feeling. You are given opportunities to relive this trauma. In fact, you will subconsciously seek out relationships to replay this trauma. For example, you may end up with friends who are as narcissistic as your mother, or boyfriends who are as neglectful and distant as your father. You may even find yourself working for abusive bosses. You will put up with this behavior because you will believe it is normal and it is what you are worthy and deserving of. You will be okay with being triggered to react with that same anxiety or sadness or isolation or anger you had from the original trauma from childhood. This is what being triggered is. When you are triggered, you become disassociated. Have you ever become so enraged and get into a fight with either a parent or a spouse or a friend that you feel that you weren't even present in the moment? This is disassociative behavior. You become separated from what you are doing in the moment. You feel like you are not really there, or you are watching yourself. This can either happen aggressively, or it can happen in the state of daydreaming or spacing out and not living in the present moment. In the case of extreme trauma, one can believe that they are not even the ones to be enduring this act, and that they are watching someone else. One way to unlock these traumas is through regression therapy. In regression therapy, you are given the chance to acknowledge a suppressed memory. When this happens, you may feel complete self-doubt and rejection. You may not be sure if these memories are real or not. The people in your life may not even believe you, causing further self-doubt, especially if they don't want you to remember this or they do not want to remember it themselves. In my personal experience, my mother won't even believe regular memories I have of my childhood and tries to convince me that I made these memories up. For her, they are suppressed memories because at the time when she acted in this way that caused me trauma, she was a disassociative and acting from an out-of-body disassociative state. And something in the moment must have triggered her to flip out in the same way her mother would. And so you see how this pattern can continue for 5,000 years through any family lineage. If you don't step in and bring these memories to surface and stop disassociating from them, the trauma and pattern will repeat in your life, in the lives of those close to you, and in your children's lives. And as you can imagine, if I have someone in my life who wants me to not remember trauma that is at a very low level on the scale of things that people can endure, imagine if someone has been sexually abused, how much their parents don't want them to remember that trauma. So trust your mind and do not be filled with self-doubt and self-hate when these memories come back to you. Self-reflection is not easy, it is painful. That is why you escaped from these memories. Escapism is an incredible coping mechanism when we feel we cannot handle the pain of the trauma we've endured. However, if we want to improve our lives, be able to help others, drastically improve our karma, come into higher consciousness and awareness, feel better and rid ourselves of anxiety and fear and stress and depression, rid ourselves of any behavioral disorders, which are actually not disorders at all. They're just a reaction to trauma. We can rid ourselves of dependencies, codependent relationships, and addictions, and rid ourselves from living lives that we don't want to live. It can be incredibly painful to realize the reality of how we have been truly acting and behaving. The reality that you may have been controlling or aggressive to your partners just as your parents were to you, or completely isolating and neglectful to your partners, or disassociating from your body and having a fear of sexuality, or giving away your body too easily, which also stems from a fear of intimacy. There are infinite amount of ways that these fears can manifest, and for every individual it's different, but the core essence for everyone is the same. We all have suppressed trauma that must be dealt with, that has caused fear in our lives. And to not confront this would be insane. You will not have a connection with reality. You will live disassociating from yourself and disassociated with your life. You will be living in a fog and not able to face the reality of the living hell that you are currently in. How unhappy you are with your relationship, your job or career, your money situation, your living situation, your physical body, your social life, your spiritual life, and even what you're able to do in your free time. Do you even allow yourself free time, or do you fear living with your own thoughts? You may be ignoring the reality of your situation, ignoring that your life is not currently a living hell. Living a life you don't truly want is soul-crushing. But many people think it's too painful to face the problem, and it's easier to ignore it. It may cause you to feel triggered, or act delusional and pretend that this does not apply to you. But remember, this is not the true you. If it hurts your ego to face the reality of the way you've been behaving or feeling or acting, remember this is not the true you. This is a trauma, a curse that has been placed onto you and that you are now carrying with you. You must face this reality so that you can bridge the gap between your subconscious and your conscious mind. In a sense, bridging the gap between your root chakra and your crown chakra. Not only will facing your trauma change your life drastically for the better and allow you to flourish in every area of your life, but it will also greatly affect the lives of everyone around you, whether it's friends, family, or spouses, or future children, or children you have now. I assure anyone close with you knows your triggers and your behavioral or psychological patterns, whether you are distant or needy or overbearing or isolating. Your personality greatly impacts everyone's lives around you. And if you have or plan to have children, this trauma will affect many generations to come. You are currently carrying the trauma of generations before you. It is a big responsibility, but it is your responsibility to end this in your family lineage. Once you heal, you will improve your life, the life of those around you, and have the ability to help heal millions of lives around the world, because you'll be able to teach others how to do the same and overcome the same. To believe that things will change without doing anything differently is the definition of insanity. If you are in a bad relationship and you break up with the person, you will just end up in another relationship with the exact same behaviors. A totally new person with all the same problems. This also applies to getting another dead-end job you don't enjoy, or going on another diet fad. You are not going to find the answer outside of yourself anymore. You must look inside and face the root cause of your issues. And then you can decide with a sense of clarity and truly knowing yourself, who you should be with, what job you should work at, where you should live, how you should eat. If you do not take the steps to face your own fears, then it doesn't matter what your surroundings are, what your environment is, or who you surround yourself with. The trauma will continue to haunt you, your personality, and the world. There is only one way out, and it is to go deeper into the darkness so that you can flush out the ghosts and come out of the other side of the dark tunnel into pure white light and loving energy. Then and only then can you see your life from reality instead of a disassociative state. To understand where and when we have blocked trauma, we must understand what harmonious balance and alignment look like. This will allow for a balance in your emotions, the ability to feel harmonious, secure, loved, and loving. If you are an impulsive or spontaneous person, you may believe that balance will cause your life to become more boring, but rather it means that your emotions will not rule your life, and thus your actions will be your choice rather than based on impulse, dependency, or fear. The Kundalini represents your balanced and aligned chakras. It is symbolized by two intertwining snakes. These intertwining snakes are a representation of the same concepts as the yin and yang symbol, the harmony and balance of masculine and feminine energies, moon and sun, mountains and sea, male and female. In each individual chakra, the balance pertains to different aspects of your life, but each one is about finding the balance between blocked and overactive. You can think of overactive as a masculine energy and blocked as a feminine energy. This is to say, overactive is a wounded masculine energy and blocked is a wounded female energy. The Kundalini represents the sacred harmony between the sacred masculine energy and the sacred feminine energy. Each of us has both masculine and feminine energies within us. Each of us has both overactive and blocked aspects of each chakra. Because we are working with the root chakra right now, let us use this as an example. The wounded masculine traits that will create an overactive root chakra include being forceful, dominating, manipulative, overthinking, overdoing, controlling, or demanding. If your root chakra is blocked, you can have wounded feminine energy that is represented by repressed truth, feeling unworthy, shame and guilt, having weak boundaries, feeling codependent, always apologizing, or over-explaining. You may feel lost and not know what you truly want in life. With overactive, wounded masculine energy, this can make you defensive. You can become negative or angry in order to protect your insecurity. With wounded feminine energy, you can become needy or codependent. So what does it look like balanced? With a balanced root chakra, you are abundant. You are not afraid of limitless wealth. You know what you want in life, but you also know you don't need it. You can live without it because you feel safe and secure. You have what you need. Your sacred feminine is in connection with love, creativity, compassion, and creation. But you are also structured and grounded. You have a sense of purpose and you know what you want in your sacred masculine. You do not feel stuck or held back in your wounded feminine, and you do not feel impulsive or controlling in your wounded masculine. A good way to judge the balance and alignment of your root chakra is through money. Money can have connotations that have people think that it is not in line with spirituality to care about money or materialism. But your financial situation is symbolic of the stability of every aspect of your life. Spiritually, money is our ability to give to others and be able to receive. If you do not love yourself and know your worth, you will not have the ability to receive. If you are not stable and secure and know your worth in the world, knowing the value you can provide to others, you will not be able to give. Money also allows us to feel secure and comfortable, to be able to have everything we need to be safe. When we have money, we do not need to be stuck in situations we don't want to be in because of financial trouble. You will never have to live with your toxic or abusive family, friends, or spouse. You will have the freedom to be true to yourself. The root chakra is all about wanting to achieve abundance rather than scarcity. Scarcity is a signal that we are fearful and we are not secure. You feel scarcity if you do not feel worthy and deserving of having your needs met in life. And as we know, this is because your needs were not met as a child. The goal to attain with the root chakra is abundance. To not only have your needs met so you're safe and secure, but to be able to receive limitlessly and to be able to give to others limitlessly. Abundance is the masculine and feminine energies working harmoniously together. Think of the masculine energy as the sun and the feminine energy as the moon. The sun shows up every morning, shining its light on everyone in the world, allowing plants to grow and for people to feel happy and be fed with the nutrition it provides. The moon is the receiving aspect. She receives light from the sun. For a few weeks, our attention is focused on the sun and its ability to give to everyone in the world. The sun rests at night to allow the moon to appear, but most of the time the moon is hidden, allowing for the stars to shine brightly while she is away. You focus your energy on giving, showing up every day and giving everything you can, knowing your value in giving and knowing your value in receiving, allowing others to shine their bright light. When the moon finally appears with fullness and brightness, the giving light of the sun is finally being seen in full force by the receiving moon. It is a celebration when the full moon comes out, and it is a holiday celebrated by humans, animals, and the tides of the sea. Model your kundalini off of the behavior of the sun and the moon, giving every day, serving purpose to the world and making an impact, and in exchange, you will naturally receive abundance and receive limitlessly until your light is so bright it is celebrated and you receive as much as you give and more. In the morning, you are the sun, giving and giving all of your worth and value to the world, helping others as much as you can. At night, you recede into self-love and do meditations on how much you love yourself and how worthy you are, what your worth is, and how much value you can provide to the world. So in the morning, you are rejuvenated and can give your value to the world and help others. You continue working on your own self-love and giving to the rest of the world every day. And eventually, your light of giving will reflect back unto you. And not only will you have self-love, you will have universal love. The world will know you, know who you are, and give back to you in abundance, limitlessly. You will be celebrated and you will receive limitless wealth. And so when you do not feel abundant, when you feel stuck in your wounded masculine energy, or you feel lost in your wounded feminine energy, when you don't know what to do in life and you can't seem to get what you need, it is time to clear the fear of your root chakra. Pinpoint the trauma. If you cannot remember the memory, you can remember the feeling, the energy. Regardless of what you went through, it caused insecurity and self-doubt, even self-hatred. Practice limitless self-love and limitless giving to the world. Knowing your value, you have to give to the world because you are practicing self-love. And when you love yourself limitlessly and give limitlessly, you will achieve limitless abundance and a balanced root chakra. The rest of your chakras will then soar.